What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gore, and it is that time again. It is time to make some more college football picks for week number 8 of the college football season. We're kind of in that middle of the season stretch here, now getting ready to go down the wire here. And with that in mind, before I make my picks, I did want to propose a question to you guys, the community. With bowl season coming up, obviously comes college football Bowl Mania, where they do the pick'em for the bowl games as well, which is something that I do every year. So the question to you guys is, if there is enough interest, I would like to get a community college pick'em group going for the bowl games. So drop me a comment down below. Let me know if that's something you would be interested in, and if there is enough interest, then I will definitely set that group up for you guys and let you know when that's active. So what do you think about that? What do you think about maybe a community Bowl Mania pick'em group doing the ESPN Confidence style? If there's enough interest, I'll go ahead and get that group going. Let me know in the comments. And as always, of course, like this video and subscribe for more weekly content. Without further ado, let's get on to the picks. And I've already kind of made a couple here just quickly because I think they're kind of the easy ones. I'm surprised, looking at the schedule, that some games are not on this week's list. But nonetheless, here we go. I'll throw the other ones in there that I think are notable, as I always do. But we'll start at number 10. Ole Miss, I think it's a shoe-in, really. Auburn's offense is really hard to watch right now. They're having trouble figuring it out. I know Hugh Freeze will get it figured out, but he needs some personnel. He needs to get some of his own personnel in there that can run the offense the way he needs it to go. So give me Lane Kiffin and the high-powered Ole Miss team on the road to take care of business at Auburn. Speaking of taking care of business, give me Memphis on the road at UAB. Trent Dilfer not off to a very good start with UAB. It was a strange hire to begin with. Don't know how that's going to work out. But give me Memphis again, another strong offensive team on the road against it. And again, I'm not quite sure why this game is on here when you have like Tennessee, Alabama this week. That's not being picked. It's a bit of a strange decision there, but give me Memphis on the road, and we will keep on keeping on with the next one. Now, look, my next pick here, I'm going to pick Iowa at home against Minnesota and put the 8 points on them. But this is strictly only because of their defense. I've never seen, I've never seen a worse good team than Iowa, because their offense is basically non-existent. I know they've got some injuries now, but I'm not blaming injuries for the Iowa offensive problems. When they're healthy, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter with this team. They don't care about playing offense. They just don't care. How do they get the ball back to their defense as quickly as possible is how Iowa plays offense. And somehow it works. They are such an outlier. It's strange to me. Truthfully, they're so one-sided with the defense that they're ranked 24th. I would not rank them. I would not rank Iowa until they showed me that they had a pulse offensively to match what their defense does. With that being said, in this matchup, I do like them to win, simply because of the young quarterback from Minnesota on the road. Minnesota is not exactly going to light the world on fire offensively either. So I know backup quarterback injuries on offense, I know for Iowa, but look, this game might be 3-0. Honestly, this game might be a 3-0 game, period. Right? Or a 2-0 game with like a safety or some shit like that. Like the year Iowa beat South Dakota State, and they had 2 field goals and a safety for their 7 points. It's like, it's crazy what Iowa does. But they win, so I'm gonna pick them. Give me Iowa. I'll put them at number 8 here, and hopefully they don't screw me, because I'll be pretty pissed off about it. Where am I going next here? It's a bit difficult with these games. I am going to take Utah on the road at USC, and I will put some points on this. USC's defense is really just like, it's not getting any better, and you talk about it every week, and then they go out on the field and they're still not very good. So I just don't see it as a fixable thing. I just think they're going to play bad defense, and that is a really rough recipe when you have to play Utah, because Utah is going to be able to defend you. Their offense doesn't light the world on fire either, but they can absolutely play defense, and they can get Caleb Williams off the field and hand it over to their offense, who can, admittedly, while not great, they'll be able to make plays on this USC defense. USC got trapped last week. Caleb Williams played probably his worst game in college. I'd have to think about that, but I mean, he really was bad. He wasn't very good. Notre Dame got the best of him. They forced him into a bunch of mistakes. He threw some really bad balls. And I mean, it's one thing to play great and have a bad defense, but when you play poorly and have a bad defense, that's a recipe for disaster. So I'm going to continue the USC slide and pick Utah here because they'll be able to play that level of defense and make some stops with USC's offense. So give me Utah on the road. Moving on, I am going to throw some points on West Virginia at home. I'm going to give them 6 points here against Oklahoma State. These two teams are kind of mirrors of each other. Slow starts, offenses not particularly great. Trying to kind of develop that and figure things out. They've played better lately. Oklahoma State comes off a sweep of the state of Kansas. I'm just going to defer slightly to the home team here. I like West Virginia's defense. Their offense, and let's be real, they should be 5-1 because of the insanity that happened in the game against Houston, right? That personal foul that they committed after taking the lead really gave Houston that opportunity for the miracle. So West Virginia kind of shot themselves in the foot. They should be 5-1. Obviously they're not, but I still like them at home. I think it's kind of a toss-up of a game, really. Like I say, it's very, very similar teams. Solid defenses, offenses trying to come along a little bit. When in doubt, go with the home team. So I'm going to take West Virginia here, and we will move on to the next set of games. I am going to go with UTSA on the road at Florida Atlantic. Ignore the record for UTSA. The problem is the difficulty in picking group of 5 games like this is their out of conference schedules wind up being very difficult because they play the Power 5 teams who want to schedule them early for the quick win. So their numbers get bloated. The stats don't look great. 3-3. I think UTSA is still a lot better than 3-3 though. So I will take them on the road at this Florida Atlantic team that admittedly I've not seen very much. So I don't know, maybe I get surprised by this one, but I like Frank Harris and UTSA. I just like the group. I think they're better than their 3-3 record indicates. So give me UTSA on the road. Moving on, I will move on to the big game here. Penn State, Ohio State. I'm putting low points on this game because I genuinely believe Penn State has a chance to win. But I will pick Ohio State here. You kind of saw in the Notre Dame game that Ohio State has the ability in the fourth quarter to make the necessary plays and do what they need to do to win a football game, right? So they take that belief in there. Penn State will not be intimidated. They are a very, very good team. The only thing that's scaring me off outright picking the upset is Penn State's schedule. They have not really played a very strong schedule to this point. I would expect them to be 6-0 and a fairly easy 6-0 with the teams that they've played so far this year. So this is like their first real game. And of course, it's the big one. So I will lean Ohio State here. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think it will be a fourth quarter game. But give me Ohio State just to edge them out. Like I say, doing what they need to do in the fourth quarter to win a game. So I will take the Buckeyes at home. Now, got a couple more games to pick here. I'm gonna pick Miami. At some point they've got to get it figured out, right? And with Clemson, this is a very important game. Like, neither of these two teams, with the expectation levels that they have, neither of them want to go to 4-3. Like 4-3 for each of these teams would really be a disaster with the expectations that they have going into every year. Something about Clemson's offense doesn't seem right to me. They should be putting up more points than they do, right? Garrett Riley was brought in to be the answer there, and they just haven't. Like, they just, for one reason or another, they just haven't. And I think on the road here, maybe Miami. I think Miami got outclassed last week by North Carolina. North Carolina's a better team than they are. Period. But I think Mario Cristobal, maybe you follow up the embarrassment with a tough loss. Now you're back home. You get Clemson in your building. Maybe it's like put all your chips on the table. Make sure you get this win. Cross your T's, dot your I's, and all that. I don't. Outside of that, I don't really feel super strong about this game. So I'll lean Miami at home and put a couple of points on them, and move along. Speaking of Miami, I'll just go to the other Miami and take Miami, Ohio here. Put the small points. This is a bit early for Maction, the whole like Tuesday night, Wednesday night Maction football games. It's a bit early. I don't think they've played any of those weekday games yet. And here we get some more Maction. So I have not seen these two teams. It's a good matchup, obviously. They're both 6-1, and I know Toledo with Daquan Finn. I know they can move the ball pretty well. I am just going to go with the home team here a little bit. Maybe a little bit better defense, Miami of Ohio. So I will take them and go double up with Miami down here at the bottom of my picks here. And like I say, when in doubt, go with the home team. Which leaves me one more. This is a Sun Belt game. I got burned by Georgia State last week. I thought Marshall would go in there and be able to take care of business. And they did not. I'm going to go against them again this week again with this Louisiana Ragin' Cajun team. Just put it a 1-point game because, again, I just don't have a strong feeling about it. Georgia State, obviously, pretty good at the 5-1. And Louisiana, I feel like they play pretty solid defense and the running game. That's kind of where Louisiana makes their hay, defense and running game. So, the passing game is not impressive. There's not a lot there, but I think at home Louisiana will be able to play the way they want to play and maybe pick Georgia State off and get the win there. Now, that's it for the picks, but I did want to go through a couple of other games here. We'll start with Air Force and Navy, and the reason why, because Air Force, very impressive 6-0. I mean, they are playing ball with the, look, they don't throw the ball ever. It's the triple option and all that, the running game that the service academies do. But man, they are really, really good. Their defense is outstanding. Like, don't forget, like, it is about the triple option, but do not forget the other side of the ball. This Air Force team can play some D. They can absolutely defend you. I think they're a little bit better than 22nd in the country. They'll have to earn it a little bit more. But man, I like Air Force in this game to just keep it rolling. And then, who knows? I mean, they might finish undefeated. I mean, they very well might finish undefeated. And it would be very interesting to see if they do, how high up they can really go, because they are a good football team. Don't forget the defense. The other games I wanted to mention, I'm shocked that this game is not in the picks. I can't believe we're not picking this game. I don't know why, and yet we have to pick UAB Memphis, some stupid shit like that. Obviously, it's a big rivalry game. It's in Alabama this time. Alabama looking to avenge the loss last year. I don't know. It's not the same Alabama team, and it's really not the same Tennessee team either. So if I'm going to lean in this game, I'll lean Alabama at home. But I think it's going to be another good, competitive, close one with these two rivals. We'll see how, Jalen Milroe is still not where I thought he would be. He can throw the deep ball well, and he can run around well, but man, that's it. He can't do anything else well consistently at all. Again, Alabama, lean on the offensive line, lean on the running game, and this should be a good game to watch, as always, between these two. Last one I wanted to mention, Duke and Florida State. Again, another ranked matchup, another good matchup that is just not in the picks. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, why are we putting Sun Belt bullshit on and not these games? I don't understand why. I know Riley Leonard's not playing, but do not shortchange Duke. They are a solid overall team. I don't think they'll win here because of not having Riley Leonard. It's kind of a shame. Like, with Riley Leonard, this would be a primo game to watch. I'd be glued to it. I think Florida State will take care of business here. They'll be able to pull away maybe from a good Duke team late, and kind of, Florida State for a couple of weeks kind of struggled a little bit, and then they kind of righted the ship the last 2 weeks, admittedly against a bit lesser competition. But let's see where Florida State goes from here. Like I say, it's a good team, so I anticipate the game will be close for at least a while. And maybe Florida State pulls it out late. Jordan Travis, gotta watch the health. He's he's been nicked up a little bit this season. So keep Jordan Travis healthy, and make your push down the second half of the season here. So that is it, guys, for me. That is the picks this week. As always, give this video a like, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about that Bowl Mania pick'em group community-wise. Let me know if, like I say, if there's enough interest, I will do it for you. And subscribe to my channel for weekly content. And I will see you guys in the next one.